Field lights, wings shine mean in the heat of the night. Push trucks rolling, engines cry, heartbeat hitting like a war drum sky. Fuel fumes burning, crowd starts to roar. You ain't here to live, you're here for war. Green flag snaps and you're loosing the wind, throwing dirt and chasing that wind. Throttle pinned, elbows out wide, hunting that cushion like it stole your pride. Slide job, send it deep in the corner and pray it sticks. Right rear throwing clay off the cushion's grip. Slide job, fans bang boards yelling, send it son, glory you wreck. There ain't no in between rides. Slide job, hold tight baby, this ain't no parade. This is dirt track thunder and we came to invade. Like a freight train swing, G-forces bite when they ride rear digs. Slick in the middle, tacky up high, living on the edge of a half-second line. One mistake and you're kissing the wall. Heroes rise fast, legends fall. This ain't a game for the calm or tame. Fortune screams aloud for the ones who aim. Hammer down, lean hard on that wing. If you ain't risking it all, you ain't winning a thing. Slide job, send it deep in the corner and pray it sticks. Right rear throwing clay off the cushion's grip. Slide job, fans bang boards yelling, send it son. Dirt in your teeth, but damn, this life's fun. Slide job, wide open hearts in a world built on grit. Ain't no better feeling than making her stick. White flag waving, hands ain't steady. Last lap, breathe deep, keep heavy. One more dive, no fear, no shame. Stand on it, son, claim your name. Slide job, checkers fly, crowd shakes the ground. Victory lane, you're the talk of this town. Slide job, from the mud to the lights, we were born to drive. A slide job's more than a move, it's how we survive.
Well, here we are live with you once again, another Tuesday night, another night of the Dirty Old Bastards 360 Sprint Series. We're up to week number 6 here for season 22 here at Kern Raceway. Last few weeks it's all been all Tanner Pettit racing. Ryan Avila bringing home the win last week at Eldora. We've got about 30, it looks like we're looking at 38 cars strong here tonight, so it looks like we're going to run an A, B, and C main. Right now, nobody on the racetrack there in the middle of their driver's meeting. They're going to get back out here real shortly, but some little information about Kern Raceway. You know, last Thursday night, we broadcast the Dirty Old Bastards 410 Sprint Series from Williams Grove, one of the oldest dirt tracks in the country running sprint cars. We come out here to Kern, one of the newest racetracks. This originally was put in 2015, kind of a trial. It is now reshaped into a true oval racetrack. We talked to a few of the drivers before the show started tonight, just talking about how tricky it is to get the car around the bottom of the racetrack here. And even though there's a wall around the outside, it really doesn't build up a lot of cushion. So we're going to see just how well this track works tonight. Take a look here at our point standings coming into tonight. after week number 5. This is week number 6, as we said. Only a 9-week season, so only a few left to go. Leading the point standings, yet to pick up a win this year. Aiden Forrester out in front, but he is only 11 points clear of Tanner Pettit. Tanner's picked up 2 different wins this season. Bryce Einstein in 3rd. Ryan Avila there in 4th. As we said, Ryan picked up the win last week at Eldora. He's got 2 wins on the season. Mason Hannigan there in the 5th spot. Mason had a great run last week in the 360s. Came all the way from the D main, got himself into the A, but fell just a little bit short. Spencer Putney there in 6th. Riley Gray 7th. Kenny Hoffman in the 8th spot. Michael Sheridan, Trevor Royer in 10th. Alex Rudniski, Shane Yost, Joseph Grandy, Austin Griffey, and A-Case are going to round out our top 15 here in the point standings. Qualifying underway. We get some cars out on the racetrack right now. We're looking at the 44 of Adam Buchanan. Going to park it there in 3 and 4. So we'll jump over the 10 of Jack Young. Jack going to get some laps in here. We'll get some times on the racetrack. We'll pull up our time and score here for you so you can see where we are. Jack Young going to roll the top of the racetrack here off before he's going to get his first lap in. Let's just see where he goes. He's top of the charts here to 13:43. Steinman at a 51. Richie Gaines the 3rd right there behind Jack Young at a 13:49. And as we say that, here comes Andrew Main, the 31. Andrew Main out of the top of the charts. Fast time with a 13:144. The times are coming in blistering fast. Spencer Putney now with a 13:107 is now on the pole. Fast time right now. We'll put him 4th. They do invert the heat races, so we'll put him 4th in heat race number 1. He's going to improve on his time on the second lap at a 13 flat. So Spencer Putney right now, fast time of the night at a 13:000. Aiden Stoll's going to come across in 3rd at a 13:163. We see Gunnar Harris out here on the racetrack. The 54. Let's see where Gunner's only going to be able to get up to about 4th. Hoffman to 5th. So Hoffman's got a couple laps up to Hannigan now to the top. Hannigan, fast time of the night at a 12:746. Actually, 12:85. Because before I can even look over again, Blake Carrick takes fast time at a 12:746. So it's going to be Carrick with fast time. Hannigan's 2nd. It looks like Tanner Pettit's going to come in 3rd, fast time at a 12:87. Kenny Hoffman, Ryan Avila. And here comes JP Schreider. JP going to get a lap in here at the last second in the 5 car. He's going to get himself into 6th. Spencer Putney going to fall out on 7th. Casey Dudick, or Connor Dudick, sorry, in 8th. Gunnar Harris 9th. Anthony Villigan going to be in 10th. And we're going to roll right to heat race number 1. So top 4 will make their way into the feature. All right, 8 cars here in heat race number 1. Let's get our starting lineup pairs. They're getting themselves lined up on the front straightaway on the pole here. The 90 of Trevor Royer is outside. The 31 Andrew May starting in 3rd. The number 5 of JP Schreider. And to his outside, fast time of the night, Blake Carrick. In the 5th spot, Casey Simmons. And A-Case going to start there in 6th. Back to 7th, Jack Young in the 10. And Adam Buchanan in the 44. That is going to round out our 8-car field. Top 4 will go to the feature. We'll run 5 heat races. Top 4 will all go to the main. Next 4 will go to the B. Actually, I think it's going to be like the next maybe 2 or 3 of the B. They'll run the 14-car B. So we're going to get rolling away here. We jump on the nose of Schreider. It's going to be Royer and May on the front row here at Kern Raceway. Kevin Harvey's Kern Raceway, as they call it. We'll just call it Kern for the night. All right, one more time around. 8 laps. Top 4 will go to the show. Royer and May, Schreider and Carrick. We've got the 10 of Simons and Case are on the outside in the 1. Shadows fall over turn number 3. Here comes Royer with a good start. He's going to take the lead into 1 and 2. Schreider down the bottom. May going to try to make it 3 wide off for 2. He takes a look to the inside. makes it better, but checks up. Royer to the top of the racetrack, makes a little contact with the outside wall. Going to be able to get some good speed off of 4. He's going to still have the lead across the line for lap number 1. Schreider in second, Carrick now to third. We got a 3-car battle up front. Schreider to the bottom. He's going to take a slide up in front of Royer off of 4. It's now Schreider to the point. Royer coming back at him. Carrick trying to find a little something in the middle of the racetrack. He gets a good run off of 2, but not able to get up alongside of Royer. Going to take a dive to the bottom of the racetrack. Hold the bottom. He's going to get up on that inside curve. Cost him a little bit of time. Schreider is starting to check out, but here comes Carrick now one more time back underneath Royer. Royer into the wall. That is going to cost Trevor Royer a transfer spot. He's going to fall back to 5th. Carrick now up to 2nd. Schreider with the lead. Let's take a look back here at the transfer spot. We got 4 laps, 4 down, 4 to go in this race. Royer got himself back into 4th. He's back in the transfer spot. May now back to 5th. Simon's up to 3rd. He's on the bottom of the racetrack. Royer on the top. The top looks like the place to be right now. But look at Casey Simons. He's making that bottom work off of turn number 2. Gets a great run down the back straightaway. Let's take a look up front. Carrick trying to catch Schreider. Come across the line. 2 to go. Is about half a second between our first and second place drivers. Carrick to 2nd. Royer down back to 3rd. He gets around the outside of Simons. Simons fights down the back straightaway. They both go down to the bottom of the racetrack. Take a look up front one more time. It is still JP Schreider. 1 lap left to go here in heat race number 1. And it's going to be JP Schreider taking the win. Blake Carrick in 2nd. Simon's going to hold on to 3rd. Royer to 4th. And it's going to be Andrew May coming home in 5th. 1 spot out of the transfer. So I saw some discussion earlier on in the Discord, an over-under on cautions. See, we got a few people out there in the YouTube tonight. Let's see if out here watching us live. Let's give us your over/under on caution flags here tonight. We made it through the first heat race without one, so we'll see what we can do in heat race number 2. Now we're getting lined up here for the second heat race. 4 more drivers trying to punch their ticket into the show. Get our starting lineup here for heat race number 2. Jarrett Guarini is going to start on the pole. Colton Brewer to his outside. Starting in 3rd is going to be Spencer Putney and Mason Hannigan. Going to start outside of row number 2. Back to the 3rd row. On the inside, it's going to be Dustin Sargent and Alex Fuller. Back in the 4th row, starting in the 7th spot, Michael Sheridan. And Shane Gallo is going to round out our 8-car field. He is going to start here in 8th. All right, 8 more laps for heat race number 2. 4 more drivers going to make it into the feature. That sun setting going into 3 and 4 doesn't make for a very good looking camera there. It's kind of shady. All right, pace truck pulls into turn number 1. We're going to go around here 1 more lap around Guarini and Brewer. That's your front row. Watch the 7 on the outside of row number 2 of Hannigan. Hannigan's really showed some speed here the last few weeks to see if he can make his way up to the front. Off of turn number 4, green flag in the air. Guarini comes down across the racetrack. Putney's going to be able to get to the outside. Brewer's not going to cross under. Guarini with not a great start is going to fall all the way back to 3rd. Something happened to Hannigan there on the start. He has fallen back to last. We'll see if we can catch a replay of that here before this race is over with. But Mason Hannigan falls all the way to 8th position. Putney and Brewer now 1-2. Guarini back to 3rd, a pole sitter. Here comes Dustin Big Money Sargent. He's looking to take that 3rd spot away. He's going to slide up off of 4. The 77 now to 3rd. Putney with the lead. Brewer there in 2nd. Let's take a look at this battle for 3rd. Sargent pretty much settled in. We're single filed around the bottom of the racetrack. Sheridan to 5th. Hannigan looks like he is going to park it for the heat race. He is going to pull into the pits. He is done here in heat race number 2. Colton Brewer trying to find something a little bit lower down the racetrack. Cannot make a run on Putney. Putney running that slider line through 1 and 2. Looks to work really well. He gets a great run off the top of the racetrack into 3. Now he's going to run the middle of the racetrack. Brewer right there on the bottom. So everybody trying to find a little bit different groove out there. Trying to find some traction. Trying to find a little extra speed. Sheridan now to 4th. Guarini, our pole sitter, now all the way back to 6th. He has a few spots and he's about ready to get passed by the 21 of Gallo there for 7th. So that not a great start here for Guarini had a great starting spot here in heat race number 2. 2 laps left to go for Spencer Putney. He has got almost a full second, 8/10 of a second back to the second place running Colton Brewer. We head into turn number 1 here for the last time in heat race number 2. It is Spencer Putney. Going to make his way through 3 and 4 here for the last time. Going to come across the line. It's going to be Putney bringing home the win in heat race number 2. Brewer, Big Money Sargent, and Sheridan. That's your top 4. Then it's Alex Fowler, Garini. Let's see if we can take a quick look and see what happened to Hannigan before things reset here on the start of the race. Gets caught up on the nose of the 77 of Sargent. That's about all the replay is going to give us. So we're back to live time here. We don't get much time to replay things during the heat races around here. All right, heat race number 3, getting ready to line up. Get our drivers on the grid here. Let's see here, where are we at? All right. So the 10 of Ryan Scheidt going to start on the pole for heat race number 3. Aiden Stoll outside in second. Inside of row number 2, it's going to be Connor Dudek in the 7, and outside of him is going to be Tanner Pettit, winner of 2 races this season. Back to 5th. Inside of row number 3, it's Jeffrey West and Anthony Woodhull. And starting inside of row number 4, it is going to be the 17 of Dustin Steinman in an unusual starting spot here for the 20. Aiden Forrester finds himself tag on the field here. In heat race number 3 is going to start in 8th. He's got a little work to do to get himself into the feature. All right, pace truck pulls away. The track drops off right here. That's the entrance to pit road you're looking at there in turn 1. So Forrester here, back here in 8th. It's Scheidt and Stoll on the front row here for heat race number 3. Appreciate you being here with us tonight. My name is Chris Murphy here with DRSN, bringing you all the coverage of the Dirty Old Bashers 360 Sprint Series. If you haven't been here all season long, go back and catch up on the replays. You've missed a great season. We've had 60 cars a couple of nights, about 40 here tonight. I think what signed in. 5 heat races, 8 cars per heat right now. So it's Stoll and Scheidt. So Scheidt on the pole, Stoll to the outside. It's going to be up to Ryan Scheidt to set the pacer off of 4. And green flag is in here one more time here in heat race number 3. It's Scheidt and Dudek. Now Dudek gets up into second. He's on the inside of Stoll. Stoll fights back on the outside off of 2. We're side by side for second and third and 4th and 5th. Here comes Pettit. Now Pettit sneaks a nose in there. Tries to make it a 3-car battle for seconds. Dudek's got a good run on the bottom. He gets up alongside to Scheidt. Scheidt gets a run off the middle of the racetrack down the back straightaway. Here comes Stoll now. Stoll to the outside of Dudek trying to get second. Pettit tucked in right behind these two. Really nowhere to go, but he is going to follow Stoll right by the outside. And it's going to be Scheidt to the point right now. Stoll now up to second. Tanner Pettit fighting it out there for the 3rd spot. Dudek settled in. He's in the final transfer spot there in 4th. Here comes Forrester on the bottom of the racetrack. Aiden Forrester started 8th in this race. Look at Dudek on the inside of Pettit. Headed to 3 and 4. Make a little bit of contact. Pettit's going to go into the wall hard. Upside down is going to go the 24 of Tanner Pettit. Green flag still in the air as Pettit has parked it for this heat race. So 2-time winner this season. Tanner Pettit now out of this heat. Up to 3rd now is Aiden Forrester in the 20. Stoll about 7/10 of a second to the good. The battle's right here for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. It's Scheidt, Forrester, and West now. West gets a little contact in the back of Forrester. Gets him sideways. Dudek gets into the back of the 24. That is going to move Woodhull now up into the final transfer spot. So now Dudek a spot out. 2 laps left to go in heat race number 3. It is now Stoll, Forrester, and Forrester now back up to 2nd. Scheidt to 3rd. Woodhull in 4th. White flag in the air for Aiden Stoll. Look at this final transfer spot. It's still Woodhull hanging on. Right behind him, it's Steinman and Dudek. But up front right now, it is all Aiden Stoll. About a 1.5 seconds out to the goods. Going to come across the line, take the win here in heat race number 3. Forrester to 2nd after starting in 8th. Ryan Scheidt in 3rd, and Anthony Woodhull is going to come home in 4th, taking the final transfer spot. Dudek started up in 3rd, is going to come home in 5th. Jeffrey West to 6th. Dustin Steinman 7th. And Tanner Pettit is not going to finish. Going to come home in 8th in this race. We've got a couple really fast cars already finding their way into the C main tonight. We'll see Tanner Pettit and Mason Hannigan both in the C try to race their way through. As we get lined up here for heat race number 4. Heat race is going by in a blistering pace. So on the pole, we look at, let's see if we get our starting grid up here for you. Michael Dawson in the 28 on the pole to his outside, Jay Schaaf. Row number 2 on the inside, starting in 3rd, it's going to be Gunnar Harrison to 54, and Kenny Hoffman to his outside, starting in 4th. Starting in 5th, inside of row number 4, it's Ashton Farr and Joseph Groom in 6th. And back in the 7th spot, tag of the field, it's going to be Tyler Henselman. I'm glad they're not racing counterclockwise. That'd be a heck of a view into the sunshine there going down the straightaway. Have you ever been in a race car with a bunch of tear-outs on your visor looking into the sun? It is not a pleasurable thing to be doing. So, all right, Dawson and Schaaf on the front row. We go down the back straightaway here, and you can just see how much this track is slicking off. You can see the group right here heading into 3. Dawson on the bottom. He is going to start us off. Let's on the throttle a little too hard. They're got her sideways, but he's going to still carry the lead. Harris able to get up alongside of him. Schaaf and Farr now, and here comes Kenny Hoffman in the 1. Hoffman now has started in 4th, back to 5th, so we got a 5-car battle up here in the front. Dawson to the point, Harris up on the outside of the racetrack. Look at Jay Schaaf rolling the bottom, so right now it looks like Dawson's found a good line. Gonna roll into the middle of 3 and 4, catches that in. Kai Cushing gets a little bit upset right there. Lets Harris close up on the back. Dawson, Harris now to 2nd, Schaaf to the inside. We got 5 cars right here fighting it out for 4 spots. Harris, Dawson, Harris now to the point. Dawson falls back to 2nd. Hoffman now up to 4th. He's got the final transfer spot. Schaaf is the first car out. He takes a look to the inside, catches the berm. He's going to get into Hoffman. Schaaf gets on the berm, pushes him up the racetrack. He gets into the 1 to Kenny Hoffman. Hoffman gets sideways. He's back to 5th now. Harris to the point. Dawson now. And Farr battling out for 2nd. Farr way up on the outside of the racetrack. Has to turn down off of 2. He's got the 2nd place right now, going into 3 and 4 on the outside. It is Farr and Dawson, 2nd and 3rd. Take a look back here for that final transfer spot. It's still Jay Schaaf in 4th with 3 laps left to go. Hoffman 1 spot out. Taking a look to the inside of the 3. Can he get a run into 3 and 4? Hoffman's usually pretty good at running the bottom of the racetrack. You can see him getting into 1 and 2 right here. This is our battle for the final transfer spot. Hoffman cleared him a little bit off of 2, but has to settle back. Schaaf with a run off of 2 right there on the outside. Hoffman back at him in 3 and 4. Gunnar Harris is way out in front, about a 2.5 seconds now at this point. This is our battle on the racetrack for the final transfer. Hoffman doing everything he can on the bottom, trying to find some traction. Schaaf pushes up the racetrack. Is that going to be the run that Hoffman needs? No, it's going to be Jay Schaaf bringing home the transfer spot. Gunnar Harris with the win. Austin Farr in 2nd. Michael Dawson, Jay Schaaf, and Kenny Hoffman's going to go to the B. Going to come home in 5th. Joseph Groom 6th. Tyler Henselman in the 21 is going to come home in 7th. We got some fast cars. Going to find ourselves in the B and the C main. We now got Kenny Hoffman will be in the B. As we said earlier, Tanner Pettit and Mason Hannigan are both going to be in the C main here tonight. So going to be some action all the way throughout every single feature as we get heat race number 5 lined up. That is a terrible view into the sun, so we'll take another look back here. So here's your lineup for heat race number 5. On the pole, in the 5, it is Joseph Grandy, Bryce Einstein to his outside. Back to row number 2. On the inside, it's Anthony Villagran and Ryan Avila. Richie Gaines in 5th. Joshua Pickle going to start in the 6th spot. That's not Jack, that is Zach Hollinger in 7th. And that's Isaiah Vasquez in the 8th starting spot here for heat race number 5. Believe it or not, they do pay me for this, so I should just announce numbers. That would be a lot easier than just announcing names all the time. Appreciate you being here with us. We're not done this week here with DRSN. We are off tomorrow night, then Thursday night we're gonna come back with the Nitro Zone Racing League Truck Series. My good buddy Liam Irving will be covering the action for the Nitro Zone Truck League, and then Friday night we'll be back for the Half Decent Racing League Xfinity Series. So we got all kinds of action coming at you this week here on DRSN. All right, Heat race number 5 about to get underway. We're going to roll off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. It's going to be Grandy on the bottom, setting the pace. Heinstein on the outside. Keep an eye on the 5 of Grandy. When's he going to pick up the throttle? A little bit of a later start than we've seen. Right, coming about the middle of turn number 4. Grandy on the loud pedal. Going to carry us down into 1 and 2. Heinstein in second. Villa now up to third. Here comes Villagren to fourth. That's a transfer spot. That's the race we're looking at. Up front, though, it is still Grandy and Heinstein. But look at the 49 of Ryan Avila down on the bottom of the racetrack. Can he get around his Tanner Pettit Racing teammate Bryce Einstein? He's looking to the inside. Back to the final transfer spot. It's 3 wide off before contact right there. That was Pickle on the inside. Villagren up into the wall on the outside. A big mistake there from Richie Gaines as well. He falls back, and he's going to get together there with Villagren. Villagren going to go around, and it's our first caution of the night. Pickle also involved in this, so Gaines and Villagren got together down the back straightaway. That is going to bring out our caution flag for the first time tonight. Didn't really think we'd be saying that all the way into heat race number 5. So let's take a quick look here and see what happened. You can see as we head down the back straightaway, we'll take a look here from Villagren's car, the 22. And it looks like Richie Gaines just kind of comes up the racetrack just a little bit. They make contact. There might have been a little bit of contact before that. We'll take a look here one more time. You see Villagren on the outside of the racetrack. Gaines about in the middle to the bottom. They just both fighting for the same spot on the racetrack. Villagren's going to get the worst of it. He is going to fall back to 7. Actually, Pickle got the worst, but Pickle is out of this race. All right, we got 3 down, 5 laps left to go here in heat race number 5. It is Joseph Grandy, Ryan Avila, Bryce Einstein, Isaiah Vasquez, all the way up from 8th. Isaiah has made his way into the top 4. He's in the final transfer spot right now. He's got Zach Hollinger right there behind him. And it looks like Pickle's going to make his way back out onto the racetrack. So is Villagren. So we're going to go green flag in the air. It's like a black flag for Villagren for some reason. We'll see what goes on there. But Grandy on the outside. The 49 of Avila down there on the bottom. Cross the line. 4 down, 4 to go. Grandy and Avila, Heinstein in third. We'll keep an eye on this battle up front. Ryan takes a dive into 3. He's got a good line off of 4. Can he drag race down the front straightaway? It's still Grandy at the line, but here comes Ryan Avila down on the bottom. The 49 to the point. Last week's winner at Eldora leads heat race number 5 after starting in 4th, and it looks like he is ready to set sail. He is already clear by about 3/10 of a second. Here comes Grandy back at it. Vasquez still in our final transfer spot. Gaines about a half a second back, so the top 4 look to be settled in. We're going to come across the line. White flag in the air for Ryan Avila. Joseph Grandy hanging right there with him, but just can't find a way around. Ryan running the bottom of the racetrack. Joseph running kind of a slider down into 1 and 2. Sets in the middle of the racetrack through 3 and 4. He's going to get a good run off of 4, but it's going to be Ryan Avila at the line. Joseph Grandy second. Bryce Einstein. Isaiah Vasquez is going to come home in the final transfer spot. Richie Gaines in 5th. Hollinger 6th. Villagren in 7th. Pickle back to 8th. That's our results here in heat race number 5. We'll get right on to our main events. We're going to get right into the C main. We got some fast cars here in the C. Guys that usually are not used to being in this part of the feature of the program. So on the pole here for the C main, top 10, we're going to run 10 laps, top 4 will make their way to the B. Jack Young in the 10th, going to start on the front row. Shane Gallo in outside to his outside. Let's bring our grid up there, makes it easier for me. Dustin Steinman there in 3rd, inside of row number 2. Tyler Henselman's going to start to his outside in 4th. Back in 5th, it's going to be Anthony Villagren, and Case going to start in 6th. Mason Hannigan, watch this. The 4th row is where you want to keep your eyes at. Watch Mason Hannigan starting in the 7th spot to his outside, the 24, Tanner Pettit. Joshua Pickle, also no slouch back there. He's starting in 8th. So we're going to see some action here from the back of the pack in our C main. 4 cars will make it for 10 laps. All right. Going to go around one more time. As we say all the time, we'll take a look here at the iRacing pace truck. Jack Young on the pole will set the pace off of 3 and 4. Shane Gallo in the 21 to his outside. All right, down the back straight, pace truck has pulled in. The 10 of Jack Young up to him where he picks up the throttle. Green flag in the air here in our C main. Jack Young, 4/10 of a second lead already into turn number 1. Gallo in second. Steinman to third. Villagren up to fourth right now. Tanner Pettit's made up a couple spots. Him and Hannigan back there fighting side by side for 5th and 6th. They've both already passed 2 cars. Pettit's going to split them 3 wide between Villagren and Steinman. Pettit up to third. Hannigan trying to follow suit. Up front is Jack Young and Shane Gallo. Tanner Pettit now all the way up to third after starting in 8th. Steinman in 4th in the final transfer spot right now. Villagren, Hannigan with a little bit of an incident. He lost some ground. He's now falling back. 7 laps left to go. Keep an eye on the 7. Can he make up any ground? He's got 3 spots to go. If he's going to make his way into the feature, he needs a caution to make his way to the B main. Jack Young, Gallo. Here comes Tanner Pettit now. Tanner down to the inside of the 21. Gallo's going to fight back on the outside of the race. He's going to catch the outside wall. So Gallo, a little bit of a mistake right there. Fighting back with Pettit. Caught the outside walls. Now Gallo and Steinman. That's our final 2 transfer cars. 5 laps left to go. 5 down, 5 to go. It is Young, Pettit, Gallo, Steinman. That is your transfer cars. Villagren now up to 5th. He is hunting down the 17 of Steinman, trying to get into that final transfer spot. Up front, though, it is right now, it's all Jack Young, about 6/10 of a second out in front of Pettit. So we're going to keep an eye on this battle. And caution is in the air, and it looks like it's the 21 of Henselman making contact with the 1 of Case. Well, Henselman and Case get together down the back straightaway. That is going to bring in our caution. That's really going to help out Mason Hannigan. Mason had lost a lot of ground. He might have also been involved in this a little bit as I see him making his way through the infield. So let's see if we can see what happened here. So Case up on the outside, Hannigan there on the inside. Looks like Case is pretty loose off of 2. And they're going to get together, so it looks like Case got a little bit loose. Might have came down the racetrack. Hannigan actually went for a heck of a ride into 3 and 4. Is he going to be able to get that repaired and get back out here? We'll see. But it looks like Case with some heavy damage, and Henselman came into that. We'll take a look real quickly one more time at real speed. So you can see Case and Hannigan getting together off of 2. Case is sitting on the racetrack. He's trying to get going. And then Henselman just comes in and pile drives him right there at the bottom of the racetrack just to finish him off. All right, green flag in the air. Young out in front. Pettit, Gallo, Steinman. Hannigan now falling back. Hannigan upside down. That's a second flip for Mason Hannigan here tonight. I know Mason was pretty optimistic about Kern Raceway tonight, but has not gone his way. An incident in the heat race put him out. And now the second incident here in the B main. And it looks like he's right here with Pickle. And they're just going to get together going into 1. Hannigan's going to jump over the nose of the 33. And once again, go for another ride. Hard into the contact. Hard into the concrete right there. Surprised he didn't just go over the fence. But lands hard on his roof. I think Mason gets a chance to look back at that. He's going to be really glad it was a sim. But definitely not gone Mason Hannigan's way here tonight. He is going to be out of the C main unless he can get this repaired. Because we've only got 3 laps left to go. Let's take a look at our lap leaders right here. Right now it's been all Jack Young. And he's got the 24. Tanner Pettit putting pressure on it. Gallo holding on to that final transfer spot. Steinman in 4th. Villagren 5th. Case in 6th. Pickle 7th. And it looks like Gray... No, it's going to look like we're down to 7 cars on the racetrack. I thought maybe Henselman and Gray made it back out. The pace truck pulled in with green flag one more time. 3 laps left to go for the 10 of Jack Young to bring home the win here in the C main. Here's our battle for the final transfer spot. Villagren gets a little contact with Steinman. That's going to let Villigan get around to the outside. He's going to take that final transfer spot. Diamond out of the bottom, Case to the outside. 1 lap left to go. Pettit gets around Jack Young for the lead. Gallo right there in third. Tanner Pettit going to go from last to first here in the C main. He's going to bring home the win. Jack Young second. Gallo third. Anthony Villigan's going to come home in fourth. A-Case going to be the first car out in fifth. Steinman sixth. Pickle seventh. And then it's Mason Hannigan in eighth. Tyler Henselman and Ryland Gray. That is going to round out our field here in the C main. All right, let's get ourselves lined up here for the B. On the pole, you see the 31 of Andrew May. Starting outside the front row in the B main, Alex Fowler. In third, Connor Dudek with Kenny Hoffman to his outside, starting in fourth. Starting in the fifth spot inside of row number 3, it's going to be the 11 of Richie Gaines and Adam Buchanan in the 44. Back to row number 4 on the inside, Jarrett Guarini. Did not have a good heat race. He needs a good run here in the B to get himself into the feature. Jeffrey West is going to start in 8th. In the 9th spot, the 111 of Joseph Groom and Zach Hollinger in 10th. Then we get to our C-main cars. Tanner Pettit going to start in 11th. Jack Young 12th. Shane Gallo and Anthony Villigren rounds out our 14-car field here in the B. Top 4 go to the feature. Top 4, everybody else goes home, done for the night. We've already sent some good fast cars home for the evening. All right, it's going to be May and Fowler bringing us to the line. May will set the pace. You can see how narrow the racetrack is right now. It's not really widened out a lot. The middle to the bottom looks like the place to be. There is a lot of racetrack there on the outside. Let's see how this track progresses throughout this B and then into the A. All right, off of turn number 4. We will go green this time by Andrew May on the bottom. He's going to set the pace. We come green flag here in the B. Fowler, or May with the lead into 1. Fowler, Dudek, Hoffman. That's your top 4 right now. Hoffman to the outside of Dudek. He is going to take third away. Sets his sights on the second place running Alex Fowler. So Hoffman to third. Dudek back to 4th. Richie Gaines gets sideways. That's going to let West get... It's going to let West get by him there for 5th. West now to the bottom of Dudek, trying to get that final transfer spot. We'll keep an eye up to the front. We'll keep an eye on every battle we can at this point. May, Fowler, Hoffman, that's your top 3. Then it's Dudek, West, and Gaines fighting out for that final transfer spot. We come across the line, 3 down, 9 to go. We got a lap car in front of our leaders. May has to check up a little bit. Fowler makes a little contact. Hoffman just barely clears the lap car. I think that's Hollinger. Hollinger trying to limp his way into the pits. Almost piles up the field right there. So your leader, Andrew May. Foster, another lap car. Guarini almost collects our leaders. May now going to hang on to the lead, though. Fowler to second. Hoffman to third. West now up to 4th. West is your final transfer spot. Caution is out, and it looks like it's Guarini. It looked like Guarini and Hollinger both were trying to lip around the racetrack. So let's see if we can see what happened to Guarini. So we can see Guarini here up on the top of the racetrack in the 56. He's already lost his nose ring at this point. I think he's just trying to turn off the racetrack. He just can't make it. I think he was just trying to get away and get off the racetrack, but just not able to make that hard right-hand turn into the pit area here at Kern County. All right, we're going to go around one more time. We've got, 5 down, 7 to go. 4 drivers looking to make their way into the show. Racetrack's going to pull off into 1. It's up to May to bring us to the green flag, set the pace off of 4. And it looks like we've got somebody making their way back on the racetrack. It looks like Joseph Groom. All right, off of 4, single file restart. It's May. bringing us back to the line. Green flag in the air here in the B main. Fowler, Hoffman, and West. That's your top four. Here comes Richie Gaines on the outside of West. They make contact. Contact off of 2. That is going to send West for a ride. Gaines as well. I don't think West saw Gaines coming up alongside of him right there. Take a quick look at that one as well. So Gaines is sticking his nose there on the outside, and they just make contact there off of 2. Look like there might have been a little bit of room here. We'll go back and see from the chase cam. So you can see West, he's right up at the top of the cushion and he's starting to slide up off of 2. I don't think he saw Gaines. I know these guys don't run mirrors, and Gaines just kind of stuck his nose in there. West was coming up the racetrack into his groove, and I just don't think he realized they was there, and they're going to get together. That West is going to go for a ride into 3. All right, so we went the first 4 heat races with no cautions. We had a heat race in the 5th heat. I think we had 1 or 2 heat races in the C and the B. This is our 2nd caution here in the B. So it looks like Gaines is going to make his way back out onto the racetrack back there. We see the 11. We're going to go green flag this time by. Watch the one of Andrew May. Green flag in the air one more time. We've got 6 down, 6 laps left to go. Andrew May, Alex Fowler, Kenny Hoffman. That's your top 3. Then it's Pettit. Pettit's now made his way up from the back, up to 4th. He's made his way to transfer spot, came out of the C. Started back in 11th. He's now up to 4th, so Pettit's got himself a shot to make his way into the feature. He's got Buchanan right there behind him. Pettit to 5th. Fowler fights back on the outside, so it's Gaines. Why is it telling me Gaines is leading? That's the timing and scoring area here. So it's May, Hoffman, Fowler, Pettit. I got it sorted out now. All right, 3 to go. May with a good lead, about a second now back. Half a second back to Hoffman. Fowler in 3rd, Pettit 4th, and we've got another caution. It looks like Groom one more time in the 11. Actually, it looks like it might have been Richie Gaines. Take a quick look at what happened to Richie's. We're under our caution now for the 3rd time. Hard contact that looked like Groom on the inside. We'll see if we can get a different angle at it here. So we can see Gaines up on the outside of the racetrack, Groom on the bottom. They're side by side here, coming off of 4. And Gaines just went to make a look to the bottom of the racetrack. Groom took a little bit lower, actually got up on the berm. That shoved him up the racetrack into Gaines. So contact right there. We are now in a caution for the 3rd time. All right, your leader, Andrew May, started on the pole. He's led every single lap. Kenny Hoffman in 2nd now. Fowler, Pettit. That's your 4 transfer cars. Off of 4. Green flag in the air one more time. Just 2 laps left to go for Andrew May to bring home the win. Hoffman, Fowler, Pettit. Watch this battle for the final transfer spot. It's back to Buchanan and Young. Yeah, Young up to 6th. Pettit takes a look underneath Fowler for 3rd. 1 more lap to go. White flag in the air. Hoffman closes up on the back of May. They head down the back straightaway off of 2. Watch the one at Hoffman. Hoffman down to the bottom of the racetrack. Tries to make a run on Andrew May, but off the corner to drag race. And it's going to be Andrew May coming home with a win. Hoffman, Fowler, Pettit, Buchanan, and Young, the first 2 cars out. Villigren going to come home in 7th. Gallo 8th. Connor Dudek in the 9th spot. All right, we have now finished all of our preliminary events. I knew I could say it if I tried a couple of times. For the evening, the only thing left to go is our A main event. We'll have a quick little warm-up session here. So we're going to take a jump. We're going to jump away for just a minute. I know they're going to fast forward time. We're going to jump away for a second. Here's a word from AI Chief.
Now, driver, while the field gets sorted out and someone out there is still trying to find reverse, let me ask you a question. Have you ever been in the middle of a race and thought, man, I really wish someone in my headset would tell me what the hell is going on? Maybe you're running out of fuel. Maybe the leader is about to lap you. Maybe you just wrecked half the field and you're pretending it wasn't your fault. Well, driver, that's where I come in. AI Chief. Your personal crew chief, race strategist, motivator, and occasionally the only voice of reason between you and the outside wall. With AI Chief you get live race strategy, fuel and pit calls, real-time race updates, savage coaching when you start doing something dumb, and trust me, based on what I've seen out there tonight, some of you really need the help. AI Chief doesn't just tell you when to pit, he tells you when to save fuel, when to push, and when to maybe, just maybe, stop trying to go 3 wide into turn 1. So if you're tired of racing blind, and you'd like a crew chief that actually knows what he's doing, head over to AIChiefRacing.com and let Chief get you sorted out. Because the only thing worse than wrecking is wrecking without knowing why. AI Chief, I've got your back. Now let's get back to the action.
All right, we're back live. We got a bunch of drivers out on the racetrack. Take advantage of this moment, trying to get some setups dialed in. Take a look here while we're getting warmed up to look at our B-main results. Coming home with the win in the B-main with Andrew May, Kenny Hoffman in second, Alex Fowler. Tanner Pettit Racing comes home in fourth. He's made his way from the C to the B all the way to the A main. Adam Buchanan in fifth. Jack Young, Anthony Villigren, Shane Gallo, Connor Dudek, and Joseph Groom. That was our top 10 there in the B main. We're going to get right onto the A main. Looks like they're going to wrap up warm up here for us. And we're going to make our way to the starting grid here momentarily. 35 laps here at Kern County. All right, 24 cars for 35 laps. Take a look here at your starting lineup. On the pole, in the 5, JP Schreider. It is outside. The 17 of Spencer Putney. Starting in third, inside of row number 2, Aiden Stoll. And the 54, Gunnar Harris, to his outside, starting in 5th. Ryan Avila and Blake Carrick. Tanner Pettit Racing occupying row number 3. Colton Brewer in 7th. Aiden Forrest is going to start in the 8th spot outside of row number 4. Back to row number 5 on the inside. It's Ashton Farr and Joseph Grandy. In the 11th spot, Casey Simons, and to his outside, the 77 of Dustin Big Money Sargent. In the 13th starting spot, inside of row number 7, it's Ryan Scheidt and Michael Dawson. In the 8th row, Bryce Heinstein starting in 15th. To his outside, the 90 of Trevor Royer. Starting in 17th, inside of row number 9, it is going to be Michael Sheridan and Anthony Woodhull. Jay Schaaf and Isaiah Vasquez is going to round out row number 10. We get back to our B-main cars here. Andrew May is going to start in 21st. Kenny Hoffman 22nd. Back in our final row, starting in 23rd, in the inside of row number 12 is Alex Fowler and Tanner Pettit. All right, action is going to be fast and furious here for 35 laps. JP Schreider on the inside. Watch Spencer Putney on the outside. Looks like the track may have widened out a little bit here during warm-ups. You can see that outside line a little closer to the up to the outside wall. We're going to come off turn report. Green flag in the air for 35 lap main event here at Kern County. Schreider Stoll up to second. Putney to the outside in third. Here comes Harris with a good run off of turn number 2 up to fourth. Ryan Avila down there on the bottom. Blake Carrick to his outside. Here comes Harris on the bottom. It looks like Avila's got a good car on the bottom of the racetrack, but Harris was occupying a spot he wanted to be in. Harris going to catch the outside wall. He is falling down the pace. I tried to click on him in the lineup, but he was falling down the pack in a hurry. All right, so Schreider with the point. We'll take a look and see what happened to Harris. It looked like out of the corner of my eye, looked like maybe he just caught the outside wall. But we got your DRSN replay here. Watch the 54. Rolling through 1 and 2. And it looks like he might get. Is there any contact there with himself and the 21? It looks like Harris just gets loose off the corner. Carrick takes a look to the inside. Harris comes down across the nose. They make some contact, so Carrick going to lose a couple of spots here as well. Hard contact into the back at Carrick as well. I couldn't tell who that was. It looks like that was the 77 of Fowler. No, it was the 77 of... I don't know, we got too many 77s on my screen. All right, so Harris going to fall back through the pack here. Pettit also involved in it in the 24. Looks like he's lost the nose wing. We got Sheridan, Schaaf, Harris, and Pettit all in the pits right now, trying to get some repairs done, get back out on the racetrack. We got at least another lap left to go around. Just one lap down. I don't know if did we get a lap in. I'm not even sure. But Schreider, Stoll, Putney, Avila, that is your top four. Blake Carrick going to hang on to fifth after getting a little bit of contact in that. And it looks like the pace truck has pulled off the racetrack, so we're going to see if any of our other drivers can make it back out. It doesn't look like it. I don't see Hoffman, Pettit, or Schaaf making their way back onto the racetrack. As we go green flag one more time. Schreider, Stoll, and Putney. That's your top three. Ryan Villa down there in the 49. He takes a look under Putney. That's for third. Our leaders up on the top of the racetrack. Villa and Forster down on the bottom. Caution is in the air one more time. And it looks like it might have been the 10 of Scheidt. See, now makes his way into the pit area. It looks like everybody made it back out onto the racetrack. Pettit may be involved in it. He's going to pull it off into the pits again one more time. Harris still getting some repairs done. Let's see if we can see what happened here to Ryan Scheidt. Ryan on the top of the racetrack. It looks like he might have got a little loose right there. And he's just going to get together there with the 83. And Scheidt's going to go for a ride. I don't see anybody else piling into him, though, so... It looked like it was pretty much a single car incident except for the contact with the 83 of Vasquez. All right, we're going to go around one more time. I see Sheridan, Harris, Pettit all on the pitch trying to get some repairs done. Brewer also. Scheidt all off into the pit area now trying to get some repairs. We'll see if anybody can make it out onto the racetrack. We're going to go around one more time. Appreciate you being here with us tonight, spending your Tuesday evening with us. My name is Chris Murphy with DRSN. Don't miss out the rest of the action all week long. Thursday night, we've got the Nitro Zone Racing League Truck Series. Friday night, we're back with the Half Decent Racing League Xfinity Series. And the next Tuesday night, we're back one more time. 3 more races left in the season after tonight for the Dirty Old Bachelors 360 Sprint Series. All right, looks like most of our drivers have made their way back onto the racetrack. We can see Sheridan, Pettit, Harris, and Brewer. The only car out of this race right now looks to be Ryan Scheidt. We'll see if Ryan can make it back out. But here we're going to come to the green flag this time. Through 3 and 4, it is Schreider in the 5, setting the pace. Off of 4, on the loud pedal. Schreider with the lead down on the bottom of the racetrack. Stoll slides up to the top. Gets a great run off of 2. Sheridan now... That's not accurate. Sheridan's not in 4th, so our timing and scoring is a little bit buggy at the moment. So it is Schreider, Stoll, Ryan Villa, and Carrick now up to 4th. Putney to 5th, Forrester to 6th. The last few weeks, it has been all Tanner Pettit Racing. 1, 2, 3. Can anybody shake this up tonight? Schreider with a good lead. Stoll there in 2nd. Here comes Ryan Villa down there on the bottom. He's going to get underneath Stoll. Stoll slides up the racetrack. Ryan Avila's got a great run on the bottom. Schreider runs the slider line through 1 and 2, catches that outside wall just a little bit. We got a good view right here of the battle up front. The 5 of Schreider, the 49 of Ryan Avila, and Ryan's going to take the lead at the line. Is he going to be able to slide him and clear Schreider off of 2? It looks like he's going to hold the bottom of the racetrack. Ryan Avila with a good run off the bottom of turn number 2, off of 4. He's going to have the lead across the line. Caution flag in the air once again for the 3rd time. And it looks like it might have involved... I see Andrew May laying over on his side. Anthony Woodhull also involved in this. Let's see, we're going to take a look and see what happened to Woodhull. So who is that sitting up on the top of the racetrack right there? That looks like the 90 of Royer. Here comes Heinstein, and the 9 of Woodall just collects the 90. So it started off something there with the 90 car. We'll see if we can see what happened there with Royer. Looks like he's getting some little contact there with the 28. Royer is going to collect outside wall. Here comes the 9 of Woodall. They make some contact. And then May is going to come in, take a tumble through 3 and 4. Hard ride for the 31. Andrew May, he now finds his way into the pits. Third caution flag here in the Dirty Old Bastards 35 laps feature here at Kern County. Ryan Avila with the lead. We've got two different leaders in this race. It was Ryan and JP Schreider in the 5. JP led most of this race. Aiden Stoll now up to 3rd. Blake Carrick in 4th. Tanner Pettit Racing teammate Aiden Forrester there in 5th. And then Spencer Putney, Austin Farr, Joseph Grandy, Casey Simons, Dustin, Big Money Sargent going to round out our top 10. Where is Tanner Pettit at? Tanner Pettit has made his way back up to 15th after getting involved in a couple of cautions. Big mover of the race, though, is Alex Fowler. Up 10 spots, started in 23rd, came out of the B, now up to 13th. Keep an eye on the 27 of Fowler, but we're going to go green this time by off of 4. It's up to Ryan Avila. Bring us to the line. Green flag in here one more time here. 9 laps down, 25, actually 10 down, 25 to go. Ryan Avila stole to the outside of Schreider for 2nd. Carrick's got a good run right there in the 4 spot. He is looking to get around Stoll. He's got Stoll and Schreider side by side right in front of him, not really anywhere to go. But off of turn number 2, it's Ryan Avila setting sail. We're 3 wide back here. For 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, it is Schreider, Carrick, and Stoll. Schreider running the wall off of 2. Got a great jump. Carrick now up to 3rd. Stoll falls back to 4th. Forrest. Then we get caution once again. The 90 of Royer looks to have some more issues back here. Our 4th caution flag. Looks like the incident may have been involving the 3 of Schaaf. Schaaf's going to turn off into the pits. Harris goes with him. Looks like the 27 of Fowler and Royer trying to make their way into the pits. Man, how great would it be if real sprint cars had reverse like that? All right, so let's see if we can see what happened to the 3 of Schaaf. So Schaaf up on the outside of the racetrack. He's got Pettit to his inside. They head down into 1 and 2. Pettit way down on the bottom of the racetrack. Schaaf in the middle. The 27's getting sideways there. That is Fowler. Fowler just loses it all on his own. Collects the 3 of Schaaf. He gets it gathered back up, but we still had the caution come out. So, right, we're under a caution now for the 4th time here tonight in the A main. Ryan Avila with the lead. Let's take a look at our lap leaders, which won't be 100% accurate. Well, Schreider and Ryan Avila both led laps. We've only ran 12 laps, so they can't be 27 laps led. All right, pace check pulled off. It's going to be up to Ryan Avila to set the pace here off of 4. JP Schreider, Blake Carrick, Aiden Stoll, that is your top 4. Then it's Aiden Forrester, Spencer Putney, Austin Farr, Joseph Grandy, and Casey Simons. Green flag in the air one more time. 13 laps down, 22 left to go. Schreider looks to the outside. Carrick gets up to 2nd. They're side by side down the back straightaway. Carrick and the 21 on the bottom of the racetrack. Schreider making the top work off of 4. He's finding a little bit of moisture up there. And he's going to make a mistake. Schreider into the wall off of 2. That slider, there was just a really fine edge there on that slider line that he was running. Makes a mistake, gets into 1 and 2 a little bit hard, pushes the car up into the fence off of 2. But we've got a caution there. It looks like it may be involving Gunnar Harris and Isaiah Vasquez. Let's take a look at Harris here in the 54. Looks like Fowler right in front of him. Let's see what happens here. Well, they're already spinning around in front of him. I see Vasquez. It looks like Sargent as well. Let's see if we can jump up here and see what happened. We got Sargent up there. Sargent just gets into the corner. He's about to get into the 10. Checks up and spins the car sideways instead of taking the 10 out. And unfortunately, that is going to collect the 83 of Vasquez. Pettit with some contact there as well. We'll see if Tanner Pettit gets a little damage out of that. The 54 Harris going to go around off the nose of the 27. All right, so we're under caution now for the 5th time in the pits. We see the 24 Pettit, Dustin Sargent, Trevor Royer, Anthony Woodall all in pits trying to get some repairs done. Hoffman. It looks like Hoffman, Scheidt, and Brewer are out of this race. It looks like you can see the drivers up there trying to pack in that outside line up against the wall off of 4. Ryan Avila and JP Schreider are both trying to get that outside packed in, try to find a little moisture up there somewhere that hasn't been found yet. Watch the 49 here as we roll through 3 and 4. Green flag will fly this time by. Green flag in the air once again here in the A main here at Kern County. Ryan Avila with a big jump. Carrick now back up to 2nd. He's underneath Schreider. Schreider was lucky that caution came back out. He got himself back into 2nd. He is right up on the outside, running that thin line right up against the wall. Watch the 5 of Schreider. He's found a little bit different spot on the racetrack. And you can see the different lines right here. That line is working. Schreider is starting to make up some pace. He is reeling in the 49 of Avila. You can see it down the back straightaway. Found a little bit different line up there, and it's really working. Carrick now back to 3rd. Forrester to 4th. Stoll and Putney are we're about to have a battle for the lead. Here comes the 5 of Schreider up on the outside. Ryan Avila committed down to the bottom of the racetrack. He does not know the 5 is out there. Caution in the air once again. And it looks like it may be involving the 90 of Royer, as we can see him pulling off into the pits. Dawson involved in this. Once again, we take another replay. They're giving us a lot of opportunities to watch the replays tonight. But Dawson just makes a mistake trying to run that outside line. Or is that Grandy? That's actually Grandy. And then here comes Dawson, really nowhere to go. And Shape's going to get involved in this as well. So the 3 going to take a wild ride down the front chute into turn number 1. Upside down hard. So Grandy gets into the wall there. Dawson's going to come along. Does not really see that Grandy's making a mistake getting into the fence and just gets right into the back of him. Shafe paid the worst of it. All right, we are at the halfway point. If my timing and scoring is correct, Pace Truck has pulled off. Once again, we got 6 cautions. 6 caution of the night. Ryan really going to bring us to the line this time by. Green flag in the air. He'll set the pace off of 4. Schreider right there with him. Let's see if Ryan tries to run that outside line. JP was making it work really well. He's got to get it wound up a little bit. You can see he loses some momentum here. It's going to take him a couple of laps to get that outside line really working. Little bit of visual glyph, and the wing goes flying off. Watch the 5 of Schreider. Carrick down to the bottom. Avila's going to move up the racetrack just a little bit. He's kind of running the middle now. It was right on the bottom. This is their battle for the lead. Here comes Schreider. And Avila's going to change his lineup in 1 and 2. He's going to run about in the middle going in and slide it close to the wall off. And you can just see once again, that is such a fine line. That line that Schreider is running, he's made a couple of mistakes there catching the outside wall. There's just not a lot of bite out there. As we talked pre-show, the cushion is not really built up real high up there. It doesn't really want to hold you. And there's really just a fine line to run up there. Schreider doing a good job. Forrester now's jumped to the top, up to 4th. Putney to 6th. Where's Pettit? We see Pettit now up to 11th. He's trying to get his way around Heinstein. But up front, it is all Ryan Avila. 11 laps left to go as we cross the stripe. Schreider and Carrick, Forrester. Schreider trying to spoil the Tanner Pettit Racing podium run that we've had for the last few weeks. Doing a good job of hanging out a second. Running that slider line, dives into the middle. It came down off the wall. He was running a little bit higher into 1. He's now moved down the racetrack just a little bit. Off of turn number 1, Ryan Avila still out in front. Schreider, Carrick, Forrester, Aiden Stoll. That is your top 5 right now. Aiden Forrester up to 4th. Carrick now up to 6th. It looked like Schreider makes a mistake once again. This time he pays for it. J.P. Schreider, a Marysville, Ohio driver, had been dancing with that devil up there on the top of the racetrack. Finally makes a mistake, catches the outside wall off of 2. And you can see Carrick down on the bottom. Schreider goes into the middle and just watch him carry the speed. The car just does not want to hold the middle of the racetrack. Just keeps sliding up to the outside wall. He is trying to pedal it off the corner, but just catches the fence. And he is going to ride it. He's going to ride the outside wall all the way through the end of turn number 2. And he is going to go for a ride over, just almost over, actually just up on the side. J.P. Schreider was doing everything he could to run that outside line, trying to find something that you can't pass the guys in front of you if you're following them in their line, so you got to find out where they're not. So Schreider is going to fall back out of contention now at this point. We get back to live time. All right, green flag this time by. It is now Tanner Pettit Racing, 1, 2, 3. Ryan Avila with the lead. Blake Carrick right there behind him. Blake does not have to contend with Schreider this time. Can he make a run at Ryan for the lead? Going to come across the line. Be 6 laps left to go. Forrester to 3rd. Stoll trying to make a run on the 20 for the 3rd spot. Aiden Stoll in 4th. Putney in 5th. Carrick and Forrester now side by side for 2nd. Can Forrester make a run into 3? Carrick slides up to the middle of the racetrack. Forrester down on the bottom. About to groove off the bottom. That looks like the fast place to be right now. About 2 or 3 car widths off the bottom of the racetrack. You see Ryan Avila running there. Carrick and Forrester now both going to settle in. Ryan jumps down to the bottom off of 4. Come across the line. 4 laps left to go in this 35-lap feature. It has been an adventure, but right now it is Ryan Avila, Blake Carrick, Aiden Forrester, Aiden Stoll, Spencer Putney, Austin Farr, and then it's Michael Sheridan, Casey Simmons, Tanner Pettit, and Dustin Big Money Sargent round out our top 10. It's a battle up here at the front. Ryan Avila looks to have this one right now. He's about 3/10 of a second out to the good. Carrick with a big run. We got 2 to go off of turn number 2. Carrick trying to find something. He's got 1.5 laps left to do it. Forrester there in 3rd. They're going to come off of turn number 4. Ryan Avila with the lead. Carries that line into 1 and 2 through the middle and going to come off the top of 2. Carrick closing in about 4 car lengths back. And does he have anything into 3 and 4? It doesn't look like it. It looks like at the line it is going to be Ryan Avila, Blake Carrick, Aiden Forrester. Your top 3 once again. It is going to be Tanner Pettit Racing, 1, 2, 3. Here in the Dirty Old Bastards 360 Sprint Series. Carrick tried everything he could to try to find a little bit different line, but you can just see how black the track is out there right there. There was really nothing up on the top. Schreider was the only one making the top work, but in the end, he ended up paying for it. So it looks like we finished with 12 cars out of the 24. All right, let's get our results up here. Trying to find a good camera angle for the podium shot there. All right, so that is going to be our podium for the night. We'll take a quick look let's see if we got anybody in the Discord waiting room here. All right, let's get our winner in here. Ryan Avila, are you there, buddy?
Yeah, how's it going?
Good, man. I got it right this time, right? I hope so.
Avila.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I've been... All right. I'm going to get it right one of these days. Damn it. All right. Hey, man. Fantastic run tonight. JP gave you a run, but once you got clear of him, it looked like the bottom in the middle looked like the place to be. Kind of give us a little bit on your insight for the night, how your night went.
But yeah, I had a pretty good run all night. Kind of messed up in qualifying a little bit. Didn't really set me back, but it put me in heat 5, which kind of sucked. But yeah, I made a quick work in that heat race, and then just played my time right in the feature early on, and wasn't really just tearing my stuff up. A lot of cautions, so yeah, pretty competitive night. This track puts some good racing on, and yeah, I think we just overcame that and came out on top.
So it's kind of hard for us to tell looking down from the top view here. I mean, the track was pretty slick from the top to the bottom. Did it start to rubber up at all through the center? Is that why the groove was working so much better there, or was it just slick all the way throughout?
1 and 2 is definitely all the way slick. Early on the grip off was better, I think. So either being up or being down was the place to be. I had a couple lines or different lines for running 1 and 2. I think that helped me some. Getting past Aiden and whoever else is up there. But in 3 and 4, it always kind of just seems to go like a lane up. It's not rubber, but it just seems to provide more grip than the slick around it. So yeah, I think that's the line that's the preferred line in 3 and 4. But I think they were running the top, I guess, and would catch me a little bit. And I think I heard JP one time had a run on my outside. So yeah, and then just cautions kind of killed that line. So yeah, just stayed true to my line, and it kind of carried me all the way through.
Yeah, JP had some good pace up there for a little bit, but there just didn't look like there was much of a cushion built up there. There was just nothing really holding him up there, and just made a couple of mistakes, got in the wall, and cost him in the end. But it ended up one more time here I think this is the 3rd week in a row. Chris can correct me; he's in there with us, but I think it's the 3rd week in a row for Tanner Pettit Racing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, super strong nights these past couple of races. We seem to be better in these league races than the officials that iRacing has. These tracks are way slicker, so I think that provides our drive, or kind of caters to our driving a little bit more than those tackier tracks. Qualifying is way slicker, and it seems we're always at the front. So yeah, I think the slickness kind of helps us, and other people are also great. I think we had Mason up there, and just unfortunate luck for him. All these guys are really good. So these league races are pretty fun and pretty competitive. So I think that's one of our better parts on these tracks is that they're just way more slicker than any other race that we have.
Well, fantastic job again tonight, man. Congratulations on your 3rd win of the season. Before we let you go, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I gotta thank you for putting the broadcast on, and Chris for putting the league on. It's always fun. Like I said, running these races, there's something different to do, and we get them multiple times a week. So and then everyone over at Tanner Pettit Racing, Jimmy P Mac Tools, 1425 Photography, Ace Up Sim Sports, CD Photography, Trackside Collective, Blake Herrick Racing, Ethan Johnson over at Free Speed, and Simrat Market. They do a lot for us, and it shows. So yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats again. I'm sure we're going to see you next weekend up here again. And I think I'm just going to call you Ryan from now on, not even try to bother. But hey, good luck, man. The rest of the week. We'll see you next Tuesday night.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Take care, man. All right, let's see if we can get our 2nd place runner up here. And I think it's him. It doesn't say his name there in the chat. So, Blake Herrick, are you there, buddy?
Yep.
Well, had a good run going there. JP gave you a heck of a battle there for 2nd most of the night, but you ended up taking it away from him. There is, it looked like you might have had a little bit for Ryan there if you just could have got clear a little bit earlier from JP.
Yeah, I got damaged I think it was lap 1 or 2, and then I didn't think I was just going to hang on for the rest of the race, but I think it actually helped me. And then at the end, it was just 2-1 lane. You'd have to almost wreck someone to pass them. So
yeah, it looked like the middle of the racetrack, the place to be. Look like this a really great thing that they do here on iRacing. You can really see the track move around. That top was there for a little bit, but there was not much up on there. You guys were running right on the bottom on the berm early, and then the track just kind of moved up a little bit. Is there anything else you think you could have done a little bit different, or especially with the damage, had to be tough?
Yeah, I think if I got clear of JP earlier and then maybe had a restart earlier, I could have maybe tried to do something, but it would have been hard. I would have almost had to wreck myself too.
Well, Tanner Pettit Racing 1, 2, 3 again now for the 3rd week in a row. You guys seem to be up front here. I know you guys work hard on the setups. What do you expect next Tuesday night? Where are we at next Tuesday, Chris? I should be looking at this.
Williams Grove
next Tuesday night. How do you feel about that?
I feel good. It's one of all of our best tracks probably, and we've been racing there a lot. So
yeah, we covered the 410 race at Williams Grove last week, and that was just a fantastic one. So can't wait for next week on the 360s. But hey, man, congratulations on a good run. Anybody else you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Tanner Pettit Racing, Jimmy P. Mac Tools, 1425 Photography, Simrap Market, CD Cinematography.
All right. Do you have that all memorized? You got like a list in front of you. You guys
Memorized.
you guys do this a lot, so it doesn't surprise me. All right, man. Good talking with you. We're gonna see you next week, I'm sure. So have a good luck whatever you do the rest of the week, and we'll see you next Tuesday or Thursday night.
All right, thank you.
You bet. All right, third place finisher. Let's see here. Aiden Forrester got Chris up in the booth. Are you there, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Well, this is just habit, man. I think we're just talking every night. You had a decent run. You started back in 8th, made your way up 5 spots. What did you see throughout the night?
Yeah, we had a really good card tonight. We unfortunately missed qualifying. Just got home just in time to register and missed qualifying. So that put us back in the beginning of the night. But we were able to rip through the heat. I think we went 8th to 2nd is what it ended up being. So that was a really good heat race. That was big ground made up in the points there too to be able to get up there and get us a good starting position in the feature. And yeah, we're kind of hanging on there at the end. The track kind of narrowed up through the middle there, and we were just hanging on trying to block out the top 1, 2, 3, and we were able to do it once again.
Yeah, one of the first races I've covered here at Kern County. I really didn't know what to expect. I thought that outside line might stay there, and as we talked, the other guys, JP did everything he could to run up there. But it looks like you guys were pretty confident run in the middle to the bottom of the racetrack. I saw you jump up to the top a few times, but there just really wasn't a lot holding you up there.
Yeah, definitely. The top was really thin. It was getting really thin there towards the end when I was trying to dabble in it a little bit. It just wasn't working, and it was a lot riskier to go up there. So figured we'd just ride around and just finish third. It's good points night still, and just hanging on for top 3 finishes and finishing races is how you win championships.
Well, talking about winning championships, I think you just extended your point lead over Tanner with his troublesome night that he had, ended up coming home in 11th. So I think you're going to have a little bit larger lead. We'll take a look here in a minute. But man, it's just another fantastic run every week. You're up here in the top 3. I know you're going to get yourself a win before it's over with. But before you get out of here, anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, first of all, most importantly, can't thank Tanner Pettit enough at TPR. He's the man that gets all of us TPR guys to complete at this level. So can't thank him enough. Can't thank Jimmy P. Mac Tools, 1425 Photography, Aces Up Sim Sports, C Cinematography, Trackside Collective, Blick Carrick Racing, Simrap Market, and just everybody that supports us. Appreciate it.
Well, great job, man. I'm sure we're going to talk to you again probably next Tuesday, maybe even Thursday if we show up. But good job, and good luck whatever else you do. We'll see you next week.
Yep, thank you guys for the stream in the league. Thank you.
You bet, man. All right. Another night, another 360 race, another Tanner Pettit 1, 2, 3. JP Schreider did everything he could to spoil the evening for TPR, but unfortunately made a little mistake. And as you heard Aiden talking about there was just a thin line up there, and it just was a risk-reward thing. I guess JP did everything he could. He took the risk, but unfortunately did not end up with the reward. Going to come home in 14th. So let's just take a look at our full results here of the night. If I can click on the A main instead of the B. There we go. So coming home with the win, Ryan Avila. I think I got it right that time. We're gonna keep
Avila.
Avila. Damn it, Ryan Avila. I'm a pound. When we do these races, I keep trying to get that right. I'll actually repeat it in my head in my sleep, trying to get it right, and I still can't get it right. I'm gonna have to practice that somewhere else in the mirror or something like that. I know the guys that actually are professionals and do this for a living practice this stuff. So I'm gonna have to start taking their hint. All right. So Blake Carrick gonna come home in 2nd, Aiden Forrester in 3rd. That's your top 3. One more time. Tanner Pettit Racing 1, 2, 3. Aiden Stoll with a great run in 4th. Spencer Putney in 5th. Michael Sheridan actually in 6th spot, up 11 spots after starting in 17th. Aston Farr in 7th. Dustin Big Money Sargent's going to come in 8th after being involved in a couple incidents throughout the night. I don't think anybody wasn't involved in an incident except for maybe Ryan. Gunnar Harris in 9th. Trevor Royer in the 10th spot. Tanner Pettit 11th. Tanner had an adventurous evening, came from the C to the B to the A, got involved in a couple incidents in the A. He's going to stay out there, persevere to come home in 11th spot. Bryce Heinstein in the 12th spot. Casey Simons 13th. JP Schreider, after running in the top 3 most of the night, is going to come home 14th. Alex Fowler 15th. Isaiah Vasquez 16th. Jay Schaaf 17th. Michael Dawson in the 18th starting spot. Back in 19th, Joseph Grandy. Joseph had kind of a rough night. Going to come home in the 19th spot. Anthony Woodhull in the 9 is going to come home in 20th. And we get back to the last 4 cars. Andrew May. Andrew had a good run tonight, but unfortunately ended up back in 21st. Kenny Hoffman in the 22nd spot. Ryan Scheidt in 23rd. Colton Brewer is going to round out our 24. He only got 1 lap into this race. Our charge of the night was Tanner Pettit up 13 spots. Ryan's going to bring home the most led laps at 23. JP Schreider started on the pole this race. 35 laps here at Kern County for the Dirty Old Bastards 360 Sprint Series. Don't miss out the rest of the action this week on DRSN. Thursday night, we got the Nitro Zone Racing League Truck Series. Friday night, be the Half Decent Racing League Xfinity Series. And then we're back here next Tuesday night for round number 7 of the Dirty Old Bastards 360 Sprint Series at Williams Grove. But we're going to go ahead and get ourselves out of here for the night. We'll be back once again. Appreciate you having us. Appreciate you spending your evening with us. I know you could have chose something else to do, but really, what else more fun is there to do to watch a sprint car race at Kern County? So my name is Chris Murphy saying thanks once again, and we will see you next time.